let me get this up and going. Live chat. Let me get the pop going. And what's going on, Sinfuls? Let's see if we can get this going here. All right, we are ready to roll. All right, guys. This week here has been a pretty good week, actually. For the most part, we got a lot done this week. I had some doctor's visits I had to do this week, but other than that, not much going on here. But tonight we're gonna have open show tonight. Anything except politics as usual. We can talk about just about anything. We'll keep it open. Let's see how many people we can get on here if we wait a couple seconds here. Let's see here. Get this rolling here. Yeah, we've been working around the house here, getting some stuff done too, and I bought a sofa like a couple weeks ago, and I'm trying to find a cover for it if I can, and it's hard to find covers around here. We got Scott Ferris on board, so we got 11 people on board, so we can start shooting questions whenever you guys want to. Yeah, anything except for religion and politics, guys. We can talk about anything, and yeah, personal life. Thanks, Sinfuls. Thanks for that. Because we have a lot of people out there talking about my personal life, and they don't even know me, which is kind of funny. Nor do they know anything about. They're people that are really low channels, and they're trying to take swipes at me lately, and it gets kind of unnerving after a while when people start talking to you about when they start talking about you personally, and they don't have any of their information right, and they're a channel down here, and they're poking fun at your channel. And I haven't been on the channel much this week, and also the week before because of different things. Sep315, hey from Germany, how's it going? How you doing, Sep? Bob Phillips, so we're on the roll here. We got 15 people, 6 thumbs up already. Thank you, guys. So you guys can start shooting any questions you want. And Bob Phillips says, thanks for all your help. No problem, Bob. Yeah, any of you guys out there, I'm going to state this now while I'm on here talking, because this other channel that was talking about my channel was putting out there that we charge people, and we do not charge a nickel, nor do we take any money back from anybody that we push on my channel, especially from Mary Rose. We don't get a nickel from that, so I want that crystal clear. And this guy that's out there saying that, if you can prove it, good luck to you, because if you can show me a picture of who's saying that, I'll show you a liar. Okay, that's what I'll say. So, because I've never taken any money from anybody. And when they offered it to me, I handed it back. So, but let's see. Matt Teese, let's also not talk about the socks. Okay. Sinfuls, LOL. Sinfuls also says, Steve has never charged anyone for anything. Never. And I mean, the only times I've ever taken any money, two people gave me some money on PayPal to buy me a dinner one time, and I really didn't want to take it. So what I did was I donated it to the orphanage down here. And Michael L. says, good evening, Stephen. Chisme sucks. Yes, it does. Especially when it comes from other bloggers. Lies suck even more. Well, that's the problem. If these people can prove it, show it, And they can't, because I know for sure in my heart of hearts that I've never done, anything wrong as far as taking money from people. And if somebody wants to come out and say it, they're a liar. Matt T says, or the Pats. Yeah, the Pats too. There we go. Sox actually... they have their good years and their bad years, and I'm not sure how their year went this year. I haven't paid any attention to them or the Pats for that matter. Sinful says the emoticon on the right is back. Hey YouTube, remove that. LOL. There we go. Let's see here. So we got 26 people, 14 thumbs up already. Yeah. So whenever people are out there talking about crap like that, people always call me up and they want to talk about it with me. And it's like the last thing I want to talk about, because I don't really want to get caught in the negativity. So Bucky Travels Place is watching from Chiang Mai. There we go, Thailand. How you doing, Bucky? Bob Phillips, being from Wisconsin, where can you buy good cheese in the Philippines? Bob, there are places you can buy cheese. I've seen good cheeses here in different places, but I can't recall where they were. And I think it was up near Trump Tower. The mall across the way there has cheeses, I believe. And also, SNR has cheeses. So there's 2 places right there, I can tell you. Saturn 60, lately there's been a lot of news of military activity from China around Taiwan. Should I be concerned about my flight stop over there? No. If anything's going to happen, you'll know about it. You'll know in advance probably. They're not just going to It'll take some time, and the United States would probably know about it in advance. You'll know about it on the news for sure. I think, anyway. Sinful says, Bucky Travels place is nice. Bob Phillips, Santee's Delicatessen has some. Let's see. Sinful says, Saturn 60, I hope not. LOL. Flying through there Monday morning. And Michael L. says, that is why we like you. It is a true info channel, and you don't have super chats, Patreon, nor do you charge $35 US for consultations like Duma Crowd does. That's another thing that really bothers me. These channels don't know that when people call me, I talk to people for 3 hours for free. And that's what really bugs me, is we spend about 3.5 hours on the phone almost every single day with people. And sometimes it's throughout the day, but we usually average probably about 2 to 3.5 hours every day, and then sometimes even more. Let's see. Bucky Travels Places. Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty nice there. Thanks. Saturn 60 says, my flight is in November. Sinful says, fly back November 8th. So, Sinful says that he's going to be filling in for us. Let's see, we're up to 30. I'm sorry, guys. I got like a little congestion here. Sinful says he's going to be back November 8th. But he's still going to try to be on here. If he's not, then Michael can fill in for him as far as moderation. So it's good to have like a moderator on here. And if anybody else ever wants to fill in during that time. But if Sinfuls isn't on there, Michael will probably be able to fill in, hopefully. Is that okay, Michael? During the next few weeks? Or months or whatever? Month and a half, I think it is. Let's see, we got 37, 20 thumbs up. Sinfuls, I should be online during the chats. Yes, he probably will be on here, but just in case, Mike. Okay? Alright, let's see. He said, Michael L. says, yes, I'll be there in November. So we got 39, 21 thumbs up. Let's get some questions on here. Or somebody start a talk or something like that, or whatever. Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about, except for those things that we've listed already. But I was out with Sinfuls this week, and he took me to an Italian restaurant here. And it was a really, really great place over near him in Santa Rosa. And delicious food, by the way. Delicious Italian food. And I had a pizza there. It was one of the best pizzas I've had in the Philippines yet. And usually I'm a Pizza Hut person. I like Pizza Hut's crust and everything. And this pizza was way better than that. Sinful says, I will be 6:30 a.m. in Oregon, 7:30 a.m. in Utah, and 9:30 a.m. New York, LOL. So you're going to be traveling around then, Sinful. So you're going to be all over the place. That's cool. I got to go up to the filling station this week. And I'm not sure if any of you guys have been to the filling station. It's in the red light district up in Manila, on P. Burgo Street. But so if any of you guys ever get a chance to go there, don't look at it because it's in the middle of the red light district as a place to stay away from. It's well worth going to. It's almost like a museum, and if you go there during the day, it's this stuff going on, obviously, because you're in the red light district, but it's a great place to go eat too. A lot of American foods and good servings and good prices. The prices are a little bit high, but I didn't find them overly high. I've actually found their prices quite decent, actually. Sinful says, William says, good morning, good evening from Meridian, Idaho. How you doing, William? Good to see you on here, man. Let's see. Sinful is, yes, I have a total of 14 plane rides on my trip. Wow, that's a lot of traveling. Saturn 60 says, what's the best way to avoid monthly SIM registration on the tourist visa? Don't want to lock myself into a yearly contract. There's no way around that, really, Saturn. They're saying now that do not put your phone in somebody else's name. That's illegal, and you can get fined for it. So put it in your name, and if it runs out, it runs out. That's all I can tell you. Otherwise, you're stuck on the yearly contract, Robin Mari, filling station is an amazing place. We love it. And that place is growing. It's actually grown quite fast, actually. And Angel Perez says, good evening, God bless you always. Thank you, man. Bucky Travel Places. William, Bucky is from Twin Falls. Giovanni Caprini says, I'll be moving there to Guhulngan City in 2024 after, I can't even say the name, after we sell our house here in Florida. Oh yeah, these Apostle you need for your 13A or SRRV. They cost $20 each. Been talking to JRC. Giovanni, if you need help and you don't want to pay any of these companies, give me a call. please, email me first and ask me for my phone number. I can get that done for you for free. I mean, I'm not trying to knock these other companies out there, but we can really get it done for free. There's no charge because the lady gets paid by the PRA. I get nothing back out of it. My email is Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Steven5975 at yahoo.com. I just hate to see people be paying these agencies when we do it for free. I'll help you over the phone with any questions and stuff like that. Just ask me for my phone number and I'll give it to you. My U.S. phone number, by the way. We bought land in, city Gulhu, that same town, April 2023. Tony Garria says, why did you choose Philippines as opposed to more common places like Mexico or Thailand? Tony, I actually was thinking about going to Belize. And I actually had gone down to Belize so much so that I was starting to get burned out on it. And there's kind of like a underbelly there that you don't see until you're around there at night. There's a lot of drugs and stuff there, and there is some crime and stuff like that. So I mean, that was what I was worried about, down in Belize. The people there are a little bit different. They're not as friendly. There's a lot of backbiting there. You get a little bit of that here too, but I mean, in Belize you saw a little bit more of it. Sinful says, Giovanni Caprini, what area is that? Sinful says, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Michael says, can you get Disrona outside of the NCR? I'm not sure what that is. Disrona? I'm not, Michael, I've never heard of that, to be honest with you. Sinful, Michael L., I think Landers and, oh, you're talking about cheeses probably. Okay, I've never heard of that. Sinful, yes, they have lots of high-end, okay, it's liquor. Okay, I got you. They have lots of high-end liquors. Mike Strickhorn, also up in Manila, they have a lot of high-end liquors also at that Trump Mall, I believe. Mike Strickhorn, I'm selling a property. Can I bring a cashier's check to the Philippine and open an account? No, I wouldn't do that because you're not supposed to carry more than 10,000 on you, even even in a check. You cannot do that, Mike. So do not take that over here. Transfer it by wire, and then it's legal. Giovanni Caprini says, I'm 3 hours from Dumaguete. Okay. I'll have to look up that town. I've never heard that. Michael L. It is the best brand of amaretto on the planet. Giovanni Caprini on Negros Oriental. Okay. Sinfuls, Mike Strickhorn, if over 10K, you will have to report it. You're better off wiring after you arrive. I agree with Sinfuls on that. 100%. Because you're probably going to want to carry some cash with you too. So I would not carry a check. And you could cash it here, but I'd be really careful. I would not do that. Sinful says, at Giovanni Caprini, okay, thanks. Saturn60 says, does Smart still offer an unlimited data phone plan? And can you use it as a hotspot for my laptop? I'm not really sure. I'm sure they have something like that. They have a lot of different plans, and I haven't looked over their phone plans like that, but they probably do have one. They have a lot of stuff that you can get into. I haven't seen it on their thing. I'd have to look for that, Saturn, and see if they do have it. I buy a plan. It's $5.99. It's for 3 months, and it gives me more than enough stuff on there. Hotspot, it gives you a hotspot too, but it doesn't give you a lot. It's not unlimited, no. Giovanni Caprini, Mike, you need an ACR card to open a bank account in the Philippines. Yes, Giovanni, that is true. Unless you can do the SRV card, then you don't need one. And a lot of the guys coming over here, especially on this channel, they do the retirement visa. And I'm not sure what he's doing, but hopefully it's that, because you can get with a retirement visa, as soon as you go into the PRA to sign up for it, you can usually, as soon as you go to open your regular PRA account, your security account, you can open an account there also. Okay? Sinfuls, at Saturn60, my wife has that on postpaid plan. Okay. Lolo's log. Good evening from Novaleta. There we go. Let's see. Sinfuls, good evening, Lolo. Saturn60 Sinfuls, can it be used as a laptop hotspot? Yes. I'm sure it can. Yeah, and Sinful says the same thing. Saturn60, great. I actually use my hotspot for using it for my tablet, stuff like that. I have used it. Sinful says it's data, so put phone to hotspot. Robert Gripton says, I like your vlogs on banking, medical insurance, etc., but you stated you're hesitant to recommend particular companies to use. I think we'd like to know which you find best based on your experience. You talk for medical. I mean, I usually will say what I like as far as medical insurance. I usually say Pacific Cross. I think because it's a company that works out of the Philippines, but there are other companies, and they pay the hospital directly on some of their plans. So I mean, that's a good thing. That's, as far as hospitals, I recommend, let's see, the De La Salle University Hospital right around me, and St. Luke's. Let's see, Mike Strickhorn, I'm wanting to do the SRV. Mike, if you get ready to do that, please contact me at my email address that I stated earlier. Okay, if you want to do the SRV, let us do it. We'll do it for free. I promise, it's free. The only things you got to pay is the PRA fee, and they pay the lady that's going to help you. Okay, and if you want to give her a tip, that's up to you. I don't ask for anything, and I don't want anything. And actually, if you pay a driver $70, we'll come pick you up and drive you through the whole process. I don't make a nickel off that. It goes to the driver. Okay? So I want that crystal clear, because we actually spend the whole day with you. We leave here about 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m., and we don't get back to my house till 6 p.m. at night. So it ends up being a 12-hour day because of the drive up there and the traffic and everything, and then taking you around for the day and all that. And some people we even take, if they want to grab something, go do some shopping really quick or something like that. Let's see. Saturn 60 says, so with a Smart Unlimited plan, there's no need for PLDT or Globe Fiber, right? Am I missing something? I don't know about. To be honest with you, I don't know about this unlimited plan. I think you guys might be talking about the cell Wi-Fi or something like that. I'm not that up on that stuff. I know that you can get plans, but they're not unlimited, as far as I know, on your phone. But they might have some plans that I haven't seen, so I'm not really up on that, to be honest with you, because I just buy the 3-month plan. There's more than enough. I can call Smart, Globe, whatever on my Smart plan, and I get more than enough internet on there to do whatever I need to do. Plus, I buy blocks of data on there for fairly cheap money. Let's see. If you're living here permanently, fiber into house is good and fast and reliable. Giovanni Saprini, keep your T-Mobile account. It works the best that way you can call back to the United States. I had no problem with my T-Mobile in the Philippines. Now Globe, there is iffy due to being in the province. Giovanni says also, how long does it take you to get the SRV through this lady? It takes like a total of 6 weeks. 6 weeks from the time you start till the time you end. It takes 6 weeks for you to get your visa back. Okay, and when it takes you when you get here, it takes you approximately 4 to 5 hours with us or with Mary Rose. You can do it on your own. I can explain to you how to do it on your own too. If you're up there already and you don't want to use us, I can tell you how to use Grab and do everything and where to stay, all that stuff. And it takes about 5.5 hours. If you have all your apostles and everything ready and you have your money ready, please call me, Giovanni. I'll tip you into everything you need to get you through real fast. Even if I don't go with you, I don't care. I will help you. Okay, so just be aware of that. Let's see. Saturn 6 says, okay, for a budget, I'll probably just stick with Smart Unlimited. I still like my Google Fi, works with Kiev and Manila. Jeeves Winston, odd question. Are there opossums in the PH? No, not that I know of, Jeeves. Possums are from like really down south, and they took off up north, hiding inside vehicles and stuff like that. So they got up into the New England area and the upper areas, but they were really a animal from down south. And actually, they're really good, because they eat ticks. So I don't know if you know that or not. It's just an interesting fact. I read that a while back. Giovanni says, also, how good is Pacific Coast Medical Insurance? Pacific Cross. It's Pacific Cross Medical Insurance. I've seen a lot of videos from other expats that they're recommended that. I don't know about Pacific Coast. I think you mean Pacific Cross. Giovanni. Pacific Cross is the one that we recommend, and we recommend you call Michael Onstad, Onstad. Michael is our person. I don't get any kickbacks from him either, so, and you can even ask him. All right, so I want that crystal clear. I don't get any freebies. I don't want any freebies off of him. We do it to help him. He's a good guy and he helps our people. Okay, and he gives you really good service. And if he doesn't, let me know, because I don't have any problems with him. I know Michael really good, and he's one of our members too, because I can talk to him if you ever have a problem and you can't resolve it. But Michael is tremendous. If you need to talk to Michael, it's Michael Onstad, and he's on Messenger, Onstad with a D at the end. Bobby Todd, Smart have an unlimited 5G plan at $5.99 peso a month. Okay, that's not bad. All right, I didn't know that one. Sinfuls, Jeeves Winston, I don't think so. Jeeves Winston, are there ticks like in New England? They have something here that they call ticks, but I've never seen a tick here like back in New England. And I don't think they're ticks like we think of. They're a different type of insect here, and they don't carry Lyme disease as far as I know. There is no Lyme disease here in the Philippines that I've ever heard of. So, but they do have something here that the people call ticks. Okay, I want to make sure you guys understand it, but I don't think it's the same thing, because I've seen these things on dogs. They're not like the ticks back home. So, Klepto New York City says, great videos just came from Manila and Baguio on June 4th. On June 4 weeks, my girlfriend lives in Iloilo and is working on her visa and passport. I'm going back in February, and we are looking to live in Cebu. Sinful says, yes, they are ticks. Jeeves Winston, thanks, Sinfuls. George Fair, hello from Fremont, Ohio. How you doing, George? Welcome aboard, man. Let me see here. Giovanni Caprino says, I'll email you with my cell phone number. No, Giovanni, just ask me for my cell phone number. I'll send it to you, and you call me, okay, between like 6 and 9:30 Manila time, okay? Let's see, he says, plus I already sent my documents off to Washington, D.C., It's an 11-week wait, they said to me today. I wish you would call me earlier, because you can do that through your state, man, through your state secretary's office, and they do most of the documents that you need, both the DD-214, the federal documents and stuff like that. Most states do it. People think they don't, but they do. There's only 1 or 2 states that we've had problems with. All the other 48 states, no questions. Let's see. Sinful says, you're welcome. Michael L. says, ticks are everywhere except for Antarctica and high elevation in Nepal and Andes Mountain. Saturn 6 says, I've heard of Lyme disease in Philippines, but mosquito bites and dengue is the big bug to avoid. I've never heard of Lyme disease in the Philippines. I'm going to have to look that one up, Saturn 60. Now you caught my attention a little bit. The thing I worry about here more is hepatitis from people and TB. Saturn 6 says, haven't. Jeeves Winston, like the old man of the mountain story. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad somebody enjoyed it. I was gonna do a video today, but I'm gonna try to do it tomorrow. It's actually a pretty good video, also. By the way, we lost one of our regulars on here. He would join in sometimes. It was Thomas Quigley. Thomas Quigley passed away about a week ago. He had just gotten back from Boston, and he passed away when he got back to the Philippines after his probably like 40 or 50 hour trip or whatever it was, because he had to go all the way down to Davao. And Mike was almost like 70 years older, maybe over 70 or right around 70, somewhere around that age. But unfortunately, he passed away this past week, guys. And you probably saw some of his comments on here. Thomas was actually a really good friend of mine too. Thomas Quigley, really, really good man. He liked to do karaoke, which, the Philippines is a perfect place for him. So, Michael L. Dengue and malaria from mosquito as well. Saturn 60 didn't know that. Let's see. Sinful says they also do vehicle insurance, so you're aware. Yes. Michael Onstad does all types of insurance now, guys. He does car insurance and everything. So if you guys are interested, you can talk to Michael. He'll help you with any kind of insurance you need, even life insurance, I believe. Giovanni says, yes, Pacific Cross, yes, when I email you, I want this service, his service. Okay, just, Giovanni, if you're looking for Michael's services, you can contact him on Messenger, okay? Michael Onstad, Onstad. with a D at the end. Onstad. Jeeves Winston, Michael, yeah, that's where I was. That's where I was going in Northeast U.S. with the climate change. There and no more winter freeze off. The ticks are crazy. Yes, in my area of Massachusetts, we had all kinds of tick and mosquito-borne illnesses because we had swamps around our area and a river too, and the ticks were horrendous. And my father actually got Lyme's disease. Um, And I remember walking in my dad's yard, just mowing the lawn, and the ticks would be crawling up your leg. It was horrible. And Sinful says, Michael Onstad, Onstad. Robert Gripton, thanks. Appreciate your to the point, no nonsense advice. Thank you, man. Peter Spano, hi. Peter Spano's save, I think it says. SEVE. Michael L. Stephen, I have seen canines infested with ticks here. Yeah, but they're different types of ticks, the ones that they pointed out to me. They didn't look like the ticks from back home. It looked like a different insect. Now, maybe they were, they called those ticks or something like that too, but I'm going to have to check that out. Travis, I've contacted you several times with questions. Just wanted to say thank you for your help. I feel much better prepared with my move next month. Thanks, Travis. Sinfuls, Travis, good to hear. Sinfuls, Robert Gripton, appreciated. Giovanni Cipriani. Let me see. Tell the people who are going to live in the Philippines about type of snakes we got in the province. Cobra. I've seen a few there. We got a lot of snakes here, and we got the I think they call it a coral skein that I've seen right around the house here. It's red. It has big bands of red, black, and small bands of yellow. And it's a small snake, but it's poisonous, and it has neurotoxins too. So a lot of the snakes here that are poisonous don't bother you. They're on the lower level as far as like attacking you or something like that. I mean, I had a pit viper sitting right next to me. It didn't even bother me. It just went off into a pepper bush and climbed away. And he looked at me, I looked at him, and he didn't look like he was in attack mode or anything like that. And I just kind of slowly slipped away from him, and he was literally coiled up next to me in the, and I didn't notice him coiling up there. He just did it on his own while I was talking to somebody. And I don't know where he came out of or anything, but that's scary, Sinful says, Giovanni Cipriani had a cobra coiled up in a golf hole. Sinful's 48 thumbs up and 71 watches. Please hit it, folks. Thanks, guys. Let's see. Klepto NYC, will Mary Grace help my girlfriend with her paperwork if she lives in Iloilo City? It's not Mary Grace, it's Mary Rose, actually. With her paperwork. Okay, if it's a woman, yeah, she'll help her. She'd have to call. I'm not sure if she can help her from Iloilo City, though. Usually she wants to see you in Manila, so you'd probably have to have her go to Manila, but you can call Mary Rose. If you get in touch with me first at Steven5975 at yahoo.com, ask me for my phone number, and I'll talk to you first, and I'll give you all the information you need from Mary Rose, okay? Peter Spano, on the subject of spaghetti from a couple of weeks ago, I did see canned tomatoes, olive oil, and garlic. That's a good start. There we go. Michael L. says, condolences for Tom Quigley. Hector Gubat, are there home health companies that provide skilled nursing care for homebound individuals? Yes, there are. In some places, there are places that do that. Yes, I see them advertised sometimes on telephone poles. Okay, so there's nurses and healthcare workers or caregivers or whatever, and therapists that will come out to your house to work with you to do therapy for exercises, things like that. Yes. Peter Spano in shopping center. Giovanni Cipriani, what are vehicle prices going for there? Over here, I'm hearing that the Fords are a little bit cheaper than back in the States. I guess back in the States, they're going at a premium for trucks. Sinfuls knows more about that. I'll let him type in something if he wants to about the vehicle prices here, because he's more into the vehicles. I'm looking to get a Suzuki, one of those minivans. They call them bread box specials or something like that. That's what I'm looking for. They go for about $8,000 brand new or whatever, with all new parts, somewhere around there, I think. That's what I was told anyway. I'm gonna have to look into that more, and I'll let you know when I get ready to get one. And I'm not going to be doing one for a while, but probably in a year from now, maybe I'll get one. I'm thinking about getting one. I might even just get a used one. I'm not sure yet. Peter Spano, what about good Pecorino Romano? I'm not sure. Let's see, Giovanni Cipriani. I'll be back going to Messenger Michael Onstead. Okay. Yeah, Giovanni, he's very good at getting back, very quickly actually. Hector Gubat says, how about prices for home medical equipment like hospital beds, or is it better to ship from the U.S.? You can get that stuff here. You can get it here. You just got to shop around and look. You can probably, Hector, I would actually look on Lazada to see if it's on there. I'll bet you it's on Lazada. Lazada has everything. Sinful says, Hector Gubat, I would think a bed shipping cost would be very high. Yes, it would. You can go to BGC and get mattresses and beds up there that are pretty nice beds. Sinfuls, they have medical supply centers. Yes, they do. Michael L. The ticks are different species, same genus. It is like the difference between mosquitoes and between Anaples and Aedes aegypti. Okay. Sinful says, Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Jeeves Winston, Deet is your friend. Yes. William, does Google Fi flexible plan work in the Philippines for U.S. banking, two-factor authentication, or would Google Voice and Magic Jack be a better option? Magic Jack does not allow that two-factor authentication except for phone calls from some places. Okay, it does at my bank allow me to get the two-factor authentication through a phone call, and they give me 6 numbers. Okay, just FYI. Let me see. As far as Google Fi, I heard it does work. I've never tried it, so I don't really know if anybody on here does know. If you can use that for that. I heard that it's best to get the T-Mobile Magenta plan, or is it T-Mobile that has the Magenta plan? I said it before. Now I'm not sure. I believe it's T-Mobile Magenta plan. Okay. You can try them and ask about that. I know it's called the Magenta plan. I believe it's through T-Mobile. Jimbo L. Hello, Steve. I don't have a question. I just wanted to say how much I appreciate your channel and the information you provide. Thanks, Jimbo. Michael S. says, traffic in NCR is a bit much for a truck. It is okay for use in the province. Yeah, I'm planning on getting a small van, so I think I'll be okay. But yeah, truck's better out in the province. Sinful says, Jimbo L, thank you. Miss Pee-wee Barnes is on board. Steve, great tour of Sinful's house. Peaceful evening here in Iloilo. Thanks, Pee-wee. Arnold Vales, William, Google Fi works, but it's cheaper to simply buy a prepaid plan from local networks, Smart or Globe. Sinfuls, Miss Pee-wee Barnes in the Philippines. Thanks. Michael L says, what Lazada does not have, Alibaba does have. Probably. I know there's other places out there, but Lazada has a lot of stuff on there. Really good stuff, too, and then they have junk on there, too. And by the way, guys, if you're using Lazada and you're ordering something and the price seems too low, they're probably trying to get your credit card numbers, because there's a couple of companies out there I notice that they're kind of iffy, because I tried ordering something with cash on delivery and it has this really low, exceptionally low price, and when I go to order it, they keep canceling it and canceling it and canceling it, and they say that they have them, but it seems like they're trying to get your credit card number. So be careful. Always have stuff shipped to your house and pay for it when it gets to your house. So that, at least that way you get to look at it too. You know. Simple says, Michael L, you said it does correct for 2FA. Saturn 60, William, I changed my U.S. number to Mint Mobile before coming, so I can use my U.S. number in the Philippines Wi-Fi calls to get authentication. Let's see, Michael L. Arnold, Google Fi does give me two-factor through SMS. So there you go, Arnold, that's the answer. It does work. I was pretty sure it did, but I wasn't 100% sure. I heard from most people that I've heard from, they said it does work, but there are companies sometimes that might not work. So be aware of that. Even though it's working for Michael, there are banks that do pick up on that, guys. So be aware of that. because I've actually had some, I think it was a credit card that did go through text on Magic app once, and then I called them up to switch it to phone because I was kind of fearful of if it actually going through Magic app. Let's see. Giovanni says, "Have you ever met the old dog and baby mate?" No, I have not. I've talked to him through chat. Whenever we have questions here about YouTube or something like that, sometimes I'll ask him because sometimes YouTube has problems, and I usually ask him about the problems to see if he's having the same issues, and he checks and lets me know. I think I've talked to him maybe twice, maybe even 3 times. I'm not sure. Sinful says, "Thanks, Michael." Arnold Vale says, T-Mobile Magenta. Yes, T-Mobile Magenta Max works as well, but again, it's much cheaper to use a local prepaid. Lolo's Log. Google Fi works great over here. Okay, that's good to know. Sinful says, "I drove my truck around Manila, no issue." Yeah, Sinful's drives a truck, but I can understand how it'd be hard, like in the big city. But Sinful's is a pretty aggressive driver out there. You have to be aggressive to drive in the Philippines. You can't be a passive driver here by no means. Michael L says, "Arnold, local carrier won't help you with U.S. banks." No, they will not. You have to have a U.S. number. Javi, I brought Google Fi from U.S. It works, but the data only lasted for a month. Still does Wi-Fi text and calling. Okay. Sinful says, "I use Lazada a lot." Sinful says, "I don't do credit card, only COD." That's what I do. COD is the way to go, guys. Don't ever use your credit card over here unless you absolutely have to, and watch your credit card when it's in somebody's hands. Jeeves Winston, thinking of medication in 2024. I get some dental work done. Any thoughts on that? I got 30 months before retirement. Dental work, they do good dental work over here if you go to the hospitals. I would do dental work over here. Most medications I find are cheaper over here than back home. In fact, it's so cheap over here that it's ridiculously cheap. I mean, if you have a lot of medications, it can cost you a lot of money, obviously. George Fair, in June, or if you're on a lower budget. In June, I was in the Philippines for my second time. We traveled from Cebu to Bohol, then to Mindanao by ship. It was a great 3-week adventure with my Filipina. Sinful says, "If they don't offer COD, then I don't deal with them." That's the way to go. Sinful also says, "Jeeves Winston, dental here is good and much cheaper." You know, I go to De La Salle. He's a little bit more expensive there, but you know something? He's an awesome dentist, and his office is super clean. I went to a dentist near the house here, and it was a dump. It was dirty, and then they told me I had 8 cavities. I told that story before. And I went to this other dentist. The guy says, "You don't have any cavities, Steve." And I says, I know that. You know, I know that when somebody tells you have 8 cavities, that's over the top. You know, especially when you're not known for not having cavities. Robert Gripton says, "If retired military, you can use Space A on military cargo aircraft to travel. Don't recall the limits on what they'll take for you, but much more than commercial aviation." I'm not sure if you can use that over here, though. I'm not sure if there's any bases that have that here yet. And I don't think there is, Robert. I wish there was, you know. Maybe you could go to Japan and do that. Fly into Japan and then just leave. Izzy and Chris, hi, Steve. Good content, as always. Any word on the new Immigration Modernization Act? There was a lot of talk earlier in the year. Now it's none. That wasn't really a big deal. A lot of people were talking about that all these things were going to change. There was some minor changes and stuff like that, but they thought the 36-month tourist visa thing was going to change, and I kept saying no, because you know there's 2 different types of countries. You know, like a country like Mexico, you know, we don't let people over the border in the United States, but people from Canada are welcome in because they usually go back. You know, and that's why each country has different acceptances and different visas in each country. So each country has different countries that they look at, and they say, okay, these countries here we'll accept, these ones here we won't accept. These ones here can have 36 months, but these ones here, we don't want them here at all because they're probably going to overstay. They're going to have to prove that they can stay here, you know, respectfully and respect our laws. That's you know, we talked about that before, actually, in one of my videos. Tonester says Google Fi works well and can receive, let's see, 2FA, but if you use the data for 4 months straight, in a non-USA country, they might suspend your data, voice, and text continues to work. Tonester, that's very true what you're saying. But if you shut your phone off, okay, and it's off for more than a month, then they don't know if you went home or you can't went back. So you just pull the battery out or whatever, somebody told me. And it kind of puts a damper on that. Only use it when you need it, and that's it. You know, because you really don't need it that much when you think about it. Sinful says, Magic App has done some 2FA type stuff and others not. Yes, I agree. Because I had one do it before, but I didn't like it going through there. So after that, because my other ones wouldn't go through there, I just didn't feel, I don't know. I don't like their text for some reason. You know, their text doesn't even allow pictures or anything like that. So I just switched to voice. They call me now, and then I get the number that way. Hector Gubat, those new elevated highways that bypass most local thoroughfares looks like a great way to drive from north to south Luzon. How much are tolls generally if driving from Ayala, Alabang to Quezon City? The tolls are very reasonable. I'm not sure what the tolls are like from Alabang to Quezon City. It's not that much. It's not that much at all. I think it's probably less than 500 maybe. Because when I used to go from here to Alabang, I believe that it was less than 500. You know. Let's see. Rick's destination Cebu. We are 24 to 30 months out of our move. You have made me realize all the things that need to be in place for a smooth transition. Keep up the good work. Thank Rick. Miss Pee Wee Barnes says, Steve, you started dating a guy. That's from people there seem kind of. Let me see. My thing just disappeared, guys. Hold on. Live chat. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second, guys. It just. My whole thing just flew up. Oh, here we go. I can't read what it says, Pee Wee Bonds, because your name is so long. It cuts your thing in half because of that, and I'm not sure why it does that. Oh, I started dating a guy. Okay, Steve, I started dating a guy from, and it says M. People there seem kind and caring. I'm not sure where it is, Pee Wee, but it cuts you off. Okay. Because your name is so long, you need to just put Miss Pee Wee Barnes or something like that, and it stops it from doing that when it comes up on here. Because I'm using an iPad to do this. Sinful says, Rick's destination, Cebu, nice to hear. Sorry about that, Pee Wee. Giovanni Cipriani, how many years you've been in the Philippines? Plus, I asked passport people here said I can't go to U.S. Embassy there in Manila to get renewed. They say I gotta mail it back to the U.S. to renew. Yes, that's probably true. Okay. I've been here 5.5 years on my SRRV retirement visa. Peter Spano says, Steve, are there any hotels in your area? Yes. There is the Brownwood Hotel, and there's also some other hotels around here. And the best way to go is Airbnb and stay at Hope Residences. It's much cheaper. And you're right next to the mall to go eat. Brownwood's okay, but there's not a lot of restaurants right around there. You have to walk. And the good thing about staying at Hope Residences is you got everything there, and you're right in the middle of Tracy. Okay. Let's see, Steve. He also asked, I want to try and meet you next week. If you have the time and you are into it, I'll arrive Wednesday in Manila. Peter, I would, but unfortunately, my next 2 weeks are really tied up. I have a lot of things going on, and I will not be able to do that because I have. We're going to be doing the Expat dinner coming up in the next 2 weeks, and I have some other things that I have to do over the next 2 weeks, all the way till I'll be busy all the way till the 7th of October, unfortunately. So anytime after that, if you want to meet, I can meet. Jeeves Winston says, Sinful's thinking of a dental center in Makati, Manila. There's a lot of places up there. Tonester, a combo of Google Fi and Magic App has been working for me overseas 13 plus years. Magic App is fickle though. Yes, it is. Giovanni Cipriani, dental a lot cheaper in the Philippines. Yes. Way cheaper. Sinful's Jeeves Winston, not aware of them, but sure they are fine. Many good dental centers. I use Medicard Dental for my plan that costs me $40 a year. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to have to check into this. Sinful's been talking about these different cards you can buy. It would cover all your outpatient medical for like $200, $100 if you're under 60. And for dental, it's like $40. I don't know if that covers fillings and stuff like that, but if it does, that's well worth it. Sinfuls also says, plus dental still costs, but is heavily discounted. Okay. Jeeves Winston, I've been saving. Sinful says, closest place a base is in Korea. Okay, I'd fly to Korea from the U.S. if it was going to save me money and it was free or cheap. Saturn 60, do the Smart and Globe kiosks at the airport offer the same prices as the mall? I believe that they're a little bit different. When I was looking at them, I saw that their prices were a little bit different. Now, don't quote me on this. I just believe that they are from what I've seen. I looked at them really fast. One vlogger claimed it's more expensive at the airport. So yeah, that's probably correct. Last time I looked was like about 3 months ago. But I think that's only for currency exchange. Jimbo L says, great info, Sinful. Thanks. Sinfuls, you're welcome. Giovanni Cipriani, is there a commissariat PX there for U.S. veterans to shop at in the Philippines? No, there is not. You're not allowed on the Philippine bases, even though they're shared. Sinful Giovanni Cipriani, not at this time. Michael L, I got 56.25 on my last trip. Yeah, they're pretty good. The rates are great here right now. Michael L says, and that was at the airport. Robert Gripton says, frequent space A to Guam with buildup in Philippines military flights, there will increase. Sinfuls, I have Verizon that is active, but been for almost 2 years now, but I just use the phone on Wi-Fi. Saturn 60 says, that's a good rate. My U.S. bank charged 9.5% over spot. Let's see, Sinful says, Robert Gripton agree. Michael L, never exchange currency in the U.S. They will charge a 20% premium. Yes, they're very expensive. They're not 20%, I don't think, but I've never seen 20%. But they do charge a lot. U.S. is ripping everybody off and everything, it seems, because over here, everything's so much cheaper. And it makes your money go so much further because the cost of people over here to work in places is so cheap that cost gets passed along to you. And it's kind of a nice thing over here, actually, for people that are coming over here to retire, because your money goes that much further because of that. Because the cost of labor over here is so cheap. Robert Gripton says, good discussion on phone services. I'm a low-tech guy stuck in a high-tech world. I'm kind of the same myself, but I've kind of figured things out since I've been here that I have to be more on top of tech, and I've learned a lot of tech, but I'm still way off in a lot of things. I'm still trying to figure out my Mac computer. I know how to use it and how to do stuff on it, but some things I don't know how to do, Giovanni Cipriani, Sinfuls, is there a PX in Manila at the VA there? No PX. There's no PXs here, guys. There is a little store in there you can, if you're want to buy some souvenirs and stuff, that's about it. Giovanni says, dang, thank you. Michael L says, Steve, Pee-wee said he is dating a guy in Mindanao and the people there were nice. Yeah, the people there are pretty nice, It's actually she is dating. Peter Spano, it's cool. I have time, I'm staying. Peter Spano, thanks. Michael L, Pee-wee, I would be careful in Mindanao. The Muslims are not friendly to LGBT. I don't know if she's LGBT. I didn't get that impression, but I'm not sure. Maybe she is. Ted LaSalvia, good morning, Stephen from San Diego, California. Sinfuls, I have Medicard and Medicare. Miss Pee-wee Barnes, Michael L, there's no need to worry. Are kind and caring. I think people over here that are in the LGBT and are gay never get mistreated here. I've never seen anybody, and I think even the expats are more tolerant over here. Even our group is more tolerant. We have, in our group, we've had gay people in our group before. Nobody bothers them. They fit right in. Nobody says anything to them. We've had a couple go to our meetings and stuff like that, our dinners, and they're always welcome. They fit right in and they fit in the conversations and everything. We never have any issues. I don't have any problem with that stuff. Giovanni Cipriani, Sinfuls, where you get that card for dental, and can you add the Asawa on the dental plan? I believe anybody can get it. Sinful said, Giovanni Cipriani, go to a Medicard clinic can sign up for both you and your spouse. Their top plan is $40 a year, so imagine for you and wife it'd be about $80. Simple says the dental is extra charge, but a very modern and clean clinic. My dentist is very good and honest. That's good. G Money says message deleted, so I don't know what he wrote. Anthony Thompson, good morning from Dallas, Texas. I was told I would have to obtain proof of background from my local police before coming to show that I have no police record in the U.S. before entering the Philippines. That's only for the SRRV. I've never heard this. This is not for tourist visas or anything like that. Wow, it just said President Biden approves Massachusetts emergency declaration, so they must have a lot of damage back home in my area. Probably down the Cape and stuff like that. Delaware Surf guys, be sure that the dollar notes are crisp, no dog ears, etc. Do try to bring $100 notes. Yes, absolutely. G Money, I'm watching this live video on my 27 iMac right now. See, Simple says, Giovanni Cipriani, I would not think so. This is a Philippine Medical Center. Hector Gubat, Anthem Blue Cross, my provider here in Southern California, says they cover emergency and urgent care on reimbursed basis overseas. They have a lot of hospitals, but not checked ones that are in the Philippines. G Money says, I'm trying to buy land in Mindanao, but I can't find any lots at a price I want to pay. They are over 150,000 pesos per 100 square meters. I am trying to find a better deal, but there are none. Yeah, I'm not that up on land prices around here, because I would never buy land. I would only rent here. Sinful says, Hector Gubat, I have federal BCBS, and there are no longer any BCBS affiliated hospitals. Hector Gubat, they will cover even if residing full-time overseas. Sinful says, yes, they will cover after submission of claims and receipts. Pooping while standing, that's a great name. What about masculine presenting trans lesbian? I have no idea, dude. Not even gonna go there. G Money, there's absolutely nothing wrong with gay people. Gay is a sexual preference. Nobody should be promoting their sexual preference. That should be a private thing. I agree with that. I mean, most of the people here do not promote it, I don't think. I don't see that here, like back in the United States. It's kind of actually a breath of fresh air over here. Even, I think actually over here, there's probably more gays and lesbians over here. And I don't have any problems with them at all. A lot of them are my friends, so, no issue. I think a lot of the expats feel the same way over here, too. Dickie Spaz, Wendy's chicken sandwich combo, bacon cheeseburger combo, and a hamburger cost me $32 last night. That's crazy, man. I mean, over here, it's so cheap. For all, if you ordered all that stuff over here, you could probably get it for like $15. Sinfuls, Dickie Spaz, wow. See, Michael L. Steven, he is in Mindanao, and some Muslim are still stuck in the 7th century. I get it. I get it. Sinful says, if you're bringing money, $100 bills, use those currency sleeves. You can get them on Amazon. Actually, I have some of those here. And it's good for putting, if you want to pack $100, 100 bills in there, you can too, in those currency sleeves, Sinful. So that's actually a great idea, because I bought a whole stack of them, and I use them all the time. G Money, where can I find land near Kalinanan for under 100,000 pesos per square meter? I'm not familiar with that area, G Money, so I really couldn't offer you any help on that. Dickie Spaz, Sinful, it's terrible. Let's see, Mike Strickhorn. I'll be renting a studio apartment in Bohol, just across from Cebu City. Would like you feel I should still go through you for SRV fly to Manila? Yes, I can save you a lot of money. It'd be worth it for you to fly to Manila, because it'll save you probably $1,000. I believe some of those companies charge. There are ones out there that charge $500. We do it for free. So if you want all the information, Mike, give me a call. I'll tell you the way everything works. It's free. We don't take a nickel. And anybody on here will tell you the same thing that has gone through me. So Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Okay? K Fox is here. You cannot buy land in PH as a long nose anyway. No, you have to buy it through your wife or your girlfriend. And I do not recommend buying land here, as most of you guys know from following my channel. I tell people lease or just rent You know, I don't think that people should buy property here. And if you go through your wife, sometimes it ends up in divorce, and guess who gets everything? So just be aware of that. Tonester, White House just approved a 5.7 Fed increase for 2024. I think it has to be approved by Congress. So that, Tonester, is that the amount that's going to be on our Social Security and VA checks now? The 5.7% increase? Sinful says, absurd, Dickie. I just ate tonight at a nice Mexican restaurant. My meal was $12. Gee, money, I don't want to rent there because for 3 years of renting, I could own the land. I'd rather have the equity instead of wasting it on renting. There's no $80 a month places in Calnear, Mindanao. Okay, I mean, I understand where but then it's going to be in somebody else's name. I understand where you get what you're getting at, but if it's in somebody else's name, that's a risk, and it's pretty hard to get away from that risk. Heck, to go about 100 days till Christmas. We already have Christmas music in the stores, by the way, guys. Sinfuls, hectic about LOL September 1st, Christmas arrived in malls. G-Money says, I do like gay people, though I have gay friends, but you'd never know they are gay unless they told you. They don't always make it obvious. No, they don't. Froppy Root says, what is the best way to receive mail from the U.S. there and not have it take 3 months to... Don't use the mail system. You know, unless you're going to use the speedy ones like the speed delivery. You know, they have several different ones that you can use. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. I am worried about losing VA letters too and bank stuff. VA letters usually come from the VA here. Okay, once you switch to VA Manila, and your letters usually come fairly fast. Giovanni says, I can't wait to eat Jollibee in the Philippines. It's cheaper than it's cheaper here than in the U.S. Sinful says, Froppy Root, use mail forwarding service. They scan your mail and email it. There you go. That's one way of doing it, actually, guys. As you Saturn 60 says, just like John from Old Dog's channel, I'm coming in the Philippines with savings, not income. But unlike John, my return ticket is prepaid for if I don't find a remote job. It's pretty hard to find a remote job over here, guys. Just to be honest with you, there are people that do it under the table, but it's kind of risky because if you talk about it, people are going to turn you in, and I don't recommend doing that. Sinful says, USA to me mail service out of Texas costs $10 a month. Hector Gubat, that's nice. Sinful's having a nice meal in a good restaurant here in the U.S. is becoming a luxury. Sinful says yes. Then I have a gelato, LOL. Sinfuls, that cost me $2.10. Sinfuls puts out the email address again, Steven5975 at yahoo.com, and he puts out the link to that service there. Jeeves Winston, the mail service. Saturn did not learn anything from John's story. Exactly. I kind of feel the same way, Jeeves. I wouldn't come over here and do that. It's not a good idea. Giovanni says, Tonster, that's 5.7% for? I think he's saying that's what we're going to get next year. That's pretty good, actually. Tonster, I think SS is a different metric. Fed increase. Our employees and Fed increase. Our employees and annuitants. Saturn 60 Jeeves, I did. No one else is paying for my return ticket if I don't make income in the Philippines. Michael L. It is Burr months, therefore it is Christmas season in the Philippines. Let's see, G Money says, my fiance K1 visa was approved in U.S. It took 12 months for the approval. Yes, Jollibee is way cheaper in the Philippines than it is in the U.S. Maybe I can eat at Jollibee's for lunch today. There you go. Jeeves Winston says, Saturn, that was more than just a return ticket. That story was sad, and I feel for the family he left behind. Exactly. And there's a lot more of those stories that you don't hear. Trust me, there's a lot more, because I've heard of some of them before. Michael L., there are programmers, and we actually have a guy over here with dementia. Yeah. And you can figure out how that's working, with a Philippine girlfriend over here. We have I think 2 people that I know of that have dementia. And it's not a good scene sometimes, because when it gets really bad, the woman's not going to want to take care of them. We actually had one guy in Cebu that was driven to a hospital, dropped off there, and people had to they finally got the guy to talk a little bit, but he could barely talk because his dementia was so bad. Let's see, Michael says there are programmers and network administration jobs that are fully remote that pay in US dollars. It is legal due to the fact that these are US jobs. I would recommend getting one before moving to the Philippines. Yes, absolutely. Saturn 60, I know it's ideal, but I don't think I'm putting myself in a situation where I'd have to beg for help if things go south. Saturn 60 is a very risky thing. I wouldn't recommend that until you have money coming into you from somewhere like Social Security or some sort of annuity or a pension or what have you. Let's see. Equipment Dude says, "What's the most popular sport people watch here?" I would say the most popular sport people watch here is probably basketball. They love their basketball over here. Saturn 60, not ideal. Sinful says, Equipment Dude, David, boxing and basketball. There you go. Tolson says, Google President Joe Biden has officially announced plans for a federal pay raise next year. Most of the employees on the general schedule will, as expected, receive an average 5.2% raise in 2024. Interesting. Let's see. Hector Gubat, are there flood basin maps that show areas susceptible to flood? Yes, Hector, you can get those at the stationery stores around here. Most of the stationery stores in the Philippines, they have National Bookstore, I think it's called. Places like that, you ask for the map section. Go over there. There's tons of maps over there for everything you can think of, and one of them happens to be the flood zones. Because I bought one of those maps before. And they're very reasonable, by the way. You can get big ones and small ones. Tonester, it ain't over until the fat lady sings. We'll see what Congress does. Sinful says, Equipment Dude, yes, there are casinos. Many casinos, actually. Sinful says, big business here. G-Money, if you are getting a direct deposit from Social Security to a U.S. bank account, how do you easily transfer it all to the Philippines each month to be able to live on it without paying huge transfer fees? Use Western Union. Western Union will transfer the money right into your account over here, and they'll transfer it into pesos too if it's a peso account. Because I'm a BDO, and they transfer it into my peso account, and it works fine. And I get it in there, and it's very reasonable, by the way, if you put the Western Union app on in the U.S. Okay, that's the key. Hector Gubat, are casino rules for blackjack same as Vegas? That I'm not sure of. Maybe Sinfuls could answer that. See, Sinfuls put up some sort of site, Pagasa, government PH. Let's see. Flood maps. You put up the flood maps. All right, cool. G-Money says, cool. Western Union. Yeah, Western Union is pretty good. I use Western Union really a lot over here. Michael L., Equipment Dude, basketball. Some games in the Basketball World Cup a couple weeks ago were held in an area near Moa. Giovanni says, have you been to the casino in Manila? I have not, Giovanni. I've had a lot of friends go up there, and they've been there, and they said they loved it up there. I'm going to check it out sometime. I'm not a big gambling person. When I was younger, I used to go to the casinos quite often to play the poker slots and stuff like that. But I mean, other than that, I play the poker machines, 25-cent poker machines. Sinful says, G-Money, take from the ATM, use USAA, they rebate your fees. Yeah, you can use you can also use G-Money, you can also use the ATMs over here, like Sinful's just said, and get a bank that will refund your fees. Most of the credit unions do. You may want to check into State Department Federal Credit Union. And that might be your best bet because they cater to expats over here. Tonester, FYI, there seems to be an IRS document called FBAR where U.S. expats must report funds in foreign banks exceeding 10K combined. Double check with your CPA and don't get hit with a tax audit. Yes. I don't give accounting advice over here or tax advice because every person is usually different over here. But yes, I would definitely call an accountant if you're doing anything, keeping more than 10K in your accounts over here. Okay, Timmy, Bama is still being held without charges. Let's see. I don't really follow that much. Philip Massey says, what's the best island to rent a house near the beach for under $700 per month? Best island to rent out. There's lots of islands out there for under $700 a month. Lots of them. Some you can actually rent places for $35 a month, a house, a small shack on the beach if you want to, with electricity, in some cases, um, and that's a month in some of these islands. But I wouldn't want to live in those conditions. It has no AC or anything like that. It might just have a mattress on the floor, because I've seen some of the people doing it. But if you can find places like that, you can find a fixer upper place there, which you could probably just throw an AC in and rent it for the year and live pretty well in there. Just paint the place up and fix it. Fixer uppers, man, are the way to go, because for what you pay for the rents in some of these places, and you're leaving the place better than when you came. You know what I mean? So I would think that throwing an AC in a place and throwing some paint in a place and throwing some nice furniture in a place overall will save you some money. I mean, my place here, I had to do a little fixing up, but this place here is worth a lot more now that it's all fixed up. It's a beautiful place, you know. Klepto, New York City. When I was there in June, we stayed in Tagaytay, but there is no Grab there, so it's tricycle only. FYI, guys. Michael L. Hector, don't get caught card counting. Yeah. Timmy, casino. Yeah, that's a swell idea. Good way to lose your money, but it can be fun sometimes. Klepto, New York City. What is USAA? I think they do banking and insurance and stuff like that. I'm not really sure. I don't really deal with them. Sinful's Giovanni, I go to the casinos to eat at the buffets and shop some. USAA is a bank. USAA is a bank. Steve Money, I am not in the military. USAA won't accept me. Mike and Mauricio, hello from Virginia. How you doing, Mike and Mauricio? Dickie Spaz says, so Lair Resort in Manila has a nice casino, not cheap though. Sinful's put the State Department Federal Credit Union link there if you guys are interested. And that's actually a really, really good credit union for any of you guys out there, just FYI. It's for expats only. You cannot join if you're living in the United States, and it's not for State Department federal workers. You have to pay $70 to join some organization, and any expat can join as long as you're outside the country. Giovanni says, Sinfuls, is the buffet good there, better than in Vegas? Hector Gubat, Michael, LOL, I can't even remember what I had for dinner last night. Equipment Dude says, I wonder if they would let you make a walkthrough video of that casino. I would like to see it. Probably not. I'm guessing. Rogan James, are you still living in a shoebox? Am I still living in a shoebox? My place is actually pretty good size, and if you've seen my place, it's a pretty decent sized place. It's actually better than some of the Hope Residences. My place is bigger than Hope Residences, and they're getting $400 or $500 a month for those. So I don't know what people mean by a shoebox, because this place is not a shoebox. If you go back and look at my videos, Rogan, you'll see. Sinfuls, Giovanni, buffets here in the Philippines, they excel at in the good ones. Vikings is good too, guys. It's a good restaurant if you like buffets, but they shut off the AC to they have certain times that you can go in. When they want to get rid of you, they shut off the AC and it gets really hot in there. Tonester, I'm with State Department Federal Union, and they are great. Yes, they are. Let's see. Sinfuls, buffets are amazing. Rogan James, yum. G Money, if you can get at least 800 watts of solar panels and 4 to 6 100 amp hour batteries, you could have free aircon via the sun and not worry about high electric bill. Yeah, I mean, at a great cost though, I think. I mean, that's pretty costly to put those on your roof. And if you're doing it for a rental unit, it gets a lot more costly, because they could technically, unless you do like a lease or something like that, they could kick you out, and then they get all the solar panels. Giovanni Cipriani, so that's a lot of seafood on the casino buffet, you are saying, Sinfuls. Rogan James says, message deleted by Sinfuls. Sinfuls, G Money, when I build my house, I plan to be fully self-sufficient. Yeah, we have Francisco, and I have to actually now that I'm thinking about it, I have to try to call him sometime just to make sure everything's okay. We haven't talked to him in a while because we've been so busy. His house is almost fully sufficient, I believe. I'm not sure if he has the batteries. I believe that he didn't, but I think he was going to get that. Michael L. says, I knew someone who funded his physics education by card counting in Vegas. Yeah, MIT, there was people that did that. They had a movie about it. It was actually a really, really good movie, too, the MIT card counters. Sinful Giovanni, the Conrad Hotel Buffet has seafood night on Fridays. Tonester, Pentagon Federal FCU is also good. Klepto, New York City, what's the best bank to reimburse ATM fees if you're living in the States? Wow, I'd say Metropolitan Credit Union in Chelsea, Massachusetts. Metro Credit Union. They reimburse all my ATM fees 100%, even over here. Sinfuls, yes, the buffets here have an amazing spread. Giovanni, thanks, Sinfuls. Jeeves, Winston, Steve, when is the last time you've been to New England? 5.5 years ago when I left. It's been a long time. I miss it, you know. And I got to call and check on everybody, make sure everybody's okay back there because of that Hurricane Lee. I guess there's a lot of damage in Massachusetts. Out on the Cape, I heard. Tony Curley, hello from North Carolina. I've been following your channel for a long time. Hope you remake video on money transfer and banking. I should probably do one soon, as things have changed so much over the world. I might do one soon, Tony. A lot of people have been asking me to do a lot of my older videos, and I'm gonna start doing that. And we're still gonna try to do like the newer videos where we talk about stuff over here too. But I'm trying to go back to some of that stuff, and we are gonna do that more. So I will definitely keep that on there, and remind me about that if you can, if you don't see it up within a few weeks or whatever, and I'll try to do one. G-Money, Klepto, Charles Schwab will rebate ATM fees. Charles Schwab, if you have an address over here, they'll shut you down, or if they find you're over here, so be careful of Charles Schwab. And Ameritrade too, because they're both the same company. Okay, Klepto, New York City, G-Money, thank you, I will look into it. Sinfuls gives the YouTube, I guess, for something, I'm not sure what it is. Wayne Bicknell, evening Steve, how is single life, and are you going to change that soon? I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I'm living good, and I'm happy. You know, I don't talk about my personal life too much, just because I've learned my lessons over here, not to talk about anything on here. But I'm happy. I'm okay. You know. Sinful says Solaire Casino Tour. Elvin says, good evening, Steve. I'm visiting the Philippines. I'm in Pampanga having a great time. Sinful says, Elvin, nice. And Elvin goes, peace sign. G-Money in the Philippines, I paid 7,000 pesos per 200-watt solar panel. If you stay here long term, it will pay for itself instead of getting a 4,000 peso electric bill each month. That's actually pretty decent for a 200-watt solar panel. I'd like to have like at least maybe 1,200 watts of solar power, or 1,500 watts, or maybe 2,000 watts, probably somewhere around there if I could. It'd be nice to have it. Samuel says, good evening, Steve from Leicester, England, UK. Sinful Sam, good evening. Equipment Dude says, is the seafood better there or back home? I would say back home, for sure. Dickie Spaz, G-Money, are you connected to the grid? What is the monthly charge? I don't think you can sell your electricity back here like you can in the U.S., so it goes back into the grid, and then you can take out later. Some of the electric companies allow that, I guess, but when the power goes down, it doesn't work. So, but if you're sending it in, you know, you can sell it to them, and then I guess you buy it back later at a higher. I'm not sure how it works, but there's something. In some places, I think they allow it to go back and forth or something. I'm not really up on solar panels. I used to work at a solar panel company as a guard there for a while. That was a part-time job I had on weekends. It was in Massachusetts at Old Fort Devens. G-Money, does the Social Security Administration send you a letter via snail mail that you have to reply in order to keep up your, to keep getting paid Social Security? How do you handle that living out of the country so long? If they do mail it to you, it's going to take you 3 months, 2 to 3 months for it to get here. Okay? I would imagine they didn't. Some people, they do mail it that way, and I would imagine some people probably get shut off, and you got to call them, or you can download the letter or whatever. So I would have the letter available and send it in every 6 months. Just do that. You know, I think you'd be ahead of the game that way. Samuel says, good evening, Sinfuls. Tonester, if you use traveling mailbox in the USA and you pay 1 year full, it's $150, which is a discount over the monthly $15 fee for basic account. It's better to pay things like that all the time anyway, I think, if you can save money. And sometimes you can even do that with rents over here. If you pay your whole year's rent in advance, unless it's in an area where you might have problems, I would not do that. You know, if you think you might have a problem with a neighbor or something like that, you do not want to sign a lease. Okay, if you know for sure that the place is good, you've been there for a month or two, and you feel safe there, then maybe pay them a year in advance, and you can save a month or two. You can negotiate with them. Wayne Bicknell says, "Do what makes you happy." Exactly. Philip Massey says, "SRV for expats not in the military and no pension sucks. Need to deposit 20K. No way." I understand why some people won't do the 20K SRV pension. Um, and I tell people, I think it's a toss up because I would rather see people invest the 20K. I think it's kind of a toss up between either doing it or not doing it and doing the tourist visa. But if you really want to stay here and you never want to leave, then the 20K is the only way to go, unfortunately. Or getting married. Tones to traveling mailbox will also deposit your checks for a fee. Peter Spano, so the credit cards are just an emergency backup, Steve? Yes. I use my credit cards on occasion, and you got to be careful with your credit cards over here, especially guys that are on the low budgets and stuff like that. Sinful says Peter Spano should be yes, credit cards for emergencies. Or use them and pay them off if you have points and stuff. Some guys love the points, and you can pick up a lot of points on stuff like that too. K9 Companion says, hello all. Also with the SM card and using your credit cards, you get the SM points and you get your credit card points too. So just an FYI on that. So you can pick up a lot of points over here. Sinfuls or use to get miles, etc. and pay off each month. Samuel, Leicester is pronounced Leicester. Okay, I got you. Thank you, Sam. Friends, Xavier says, hello from Switzerland. I plan to visit my family in November. Let's see. Michael L. says, it is called Grid Inturi, and I doubt it exists in the Philippines. It does not, I don't think. I asked about it. The Philippine Electric Company cannot even do maintenance without shutting down its local grid. It's true. Sinful says, I had a tax refund check mailed at the time the Manila post office burned down. I never received. Had to get reissued. Froppy Root says it's good practice to not rely on credit cards in general. I wouldn't put anything on a credit card that you don't already have money in a check and to pay right away. Saving points can be nice. Yes. Richard Rogue, Steve, why is your whiteboard blank? I actually have it turned around because when I'm on here, I don't like to I have a lot of personal information on there, so I have my whiteboard turned around, so it is empty. But my other one, I have two of them. I have one over there also, and I have some stuff. It's like a magnet board too, so I have my Social Security stuff up on there. Because I just got some information recently to see how much I would get, and I put that up there. And I got some other personal information. So the whiteboard is empty only because it's flipped around. It's not really empty though. It's actually full. Sinfuls, Richard Rogue had too much personal info. LOL. Dickie Spaz, so true, Floppy. CC interest will kill you. Tones say, FYI, your SS check can be mailed to the embassy where you can pick it up, but the check with the embassy before requesting turnaround is a few weeks in most cases. Michael L, no, credit cards are for daily use. Cash gives no rewards. Let's see. Samuel, thumbs up. Michael L, use SAMC card is great. It is also usable at Watson's. Let's see. Froppy Root says, is age requirement flexible for veteran SRV? I'm in the military, retired, but only 29. Froppy Root, it's 50 and above. There are rumors about bringing back some of the things, but they're just rumors right now. Sinfuls, Froppy Root, need to be at least 50 for SRV. Michael L, never have check mailed, direct deposit into U.S. bank account for the win. Never. Let's see. Sinfuls. I don't know. I have my stuff direct deposited. Sinfuls. Michael L. I tried, but it was Oregon. They're not too bright. Okay. Philip Massey. I guess I would rather pay the 20K for SRV than get married. Yeah, same here. In most cases, losing interest or investment percentage is still better than losing everything if marriage goes. So that's exactly my point too. 007 says you can sell back to the power company electric over there, but it'll require another battery. which is expensive. Another foreign vlogger living over there explained it not too long ago. Okay, interesting. CD Morrissey, actually you can sell, let's see, no wait, CD Morrissey just took that back. Message retracted. Richard Rogue, hey Steve, did you apply for Social Security at 62? I'm not 62 yet. I just turned 60 in March, actually. I'm not 62 yet, so I cannot collect Social Security yet. So we're up to about 80 minutes, guys, and we are at the end of this strip, so I think it's a good time to end right now. We're about 10 minutes early, but I'm going to end it right here, guys, because we're at a great spot. And I want to thank you guys for joining. We will probably be on next week if I'm not for any reason. Then just tune in the week after, okay? And I would say we got 78 people, 72 thumbs up. So, let's see. CD Moore says, wouldn't have all of your whiteboard items be more secure and easier to us if you kept it on an Excel spreadsheet? I like having the whiteboard because it's so easy. Just I can go up there and change it. I can change things in my budget and stuff like that, and it just makes it nice. I don't have to go check into sign on my computer. I just go up to the board and change it. You know, that's why I like the whiteboard. Sinful says, I'll be applying in 3 months. Wayne Bicknell, have a great weekend. Thanks for all the good chat tonight. Thanks, Sinfuls, also, and Michael, for being moderator tonight. And you guys were on top of things tonight, which is really good. I don't think we had too many problems. We usually have a couple. Josh just said, why is there always drama in Dumaguete? I'm not from Dumaguete, Josh, but unfortunately that's just part of life here in the Philippines. There's drama here, too. Trust me. A lot of drama. Philip Massey says, bye, Steve. Nice live stream. Did I miss any discussion about Scuba Chef? No, I don't know who that is. Dickie Spaz says, have a good one, everyone. Sinful says, it's EMP proof. Okay. Good night, guys, and thank you for joining. And we will probably be on here next week. I'll try to be on here next week for sure if I'm around. Okay, God bless, guys. If not, the week after.